Hey up guys, S-Man back at it again with a brand new Horizon review. Now, this one's going to be a spicy one, so I just want to get right into it. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave a comment, follow my Twitter, my Instagram, all of that. Now, let's just get right into that review. Alrighty. I just want to start this off by saying, how did they manage to make one of the best written episodes, but like the worst battle, like like choreography wise, like the message of this episode, everything, the development, the build up, just the whole relationship between Ryme and Roy in this episode, and Roy and Fuecoco, perfect. But you have the most boring battle to watch, like. And you can argue, oh, that's the point of the battle. It's supposed to show how weak Roy is compared to Ryme. But still, I didn't enjoy the Dot and Larry battle as much as I should have. But it was still more interesting to watch than this battle. Yet that episode was like a worse episode. Like, this is honestly just my problem. I want to start this like whole review off by just mentioning this. I've been like getting bored of this arc. And that's not even... I shouldn't, because this is everything I've wanted out of a Gen 9 anime. And I love this idea of all the kids going and battling the gym leaders and training. But I genuinely feel like it's just dragging on at this point. And it's just became way too formulaic. Because win or lose, the kids pass no matter what. Which this episode finally does something against that. But my problem is... especially with the battles, like, it's too formulaic. We're like, say, okay, this person has a battle, now this person's gonna have a battle. Oh, this battle is more important, let's give them an episode of development, a filler episode of development, but still an episode to lead into the battle. Alright, now let's just get a bunch of fillers, and then before the next set of battles. That's just how everything has been. I do like the exploring of Paldea, but still, we need other stuff to basically mix up this formulaic structure, because now we're at a point where after next episode, it's a guarantee Fuecoco is going to evolve just with the track record we've been on and with just merchandise. Even earlier, we haven't had anything to basically shake up the plot progression, and just like we haven't had anything to shake up the structure. The only things that could be argued shaked it up were evolutions that were extremely predictable, because the second you realized we started seeing Roy's watch roll again in that episode, it was a high chance it was evolving. You know what would have been way more surprising? If watch roll didn't evolve, learned a new move, but instead Roy caught the Capsa kid, and then we get like an episode, the next episode had Tenna evolved, and then we wait a couple more episodes before watch roll evolves. That would have been way more interesting and just like surprising. The fact that every one of these evolutions have been predictable, I thought Fuecoco was going to evolve in this episode, but instead it's probably next week. But I also didn't know this week's was the battle. I thought we were going to get one more episode to lead into the battle. This actually shocked me, the end of this episode, and that's what adds to how it's really good. But the battle overall leading to it wasn't interesting. It was more interesting watching the plot of the episode lead to the ending than what actually led to it. Now let me just end this rambling off by saying, I don't think this is a problem fully with Horizons. This series was never meant to be, oh, let's battle all the gym leaders, and that's not even what this arc is. This arc is, let's battle the gym leaders, win or lose, we learn lessons. But I don't know, it's just, especially with like this episode, which I'm gonna say it right now before I even get to it, Killer Watcho gets basically 2 taps, and I don't really know. I can't really see any of their Pokemon getting progress besides their ace, their starters, and most of the time it's them learning a new move and BSing a win. And then if they learn a new move, they lose. If they win, it's by BS somehow. So yeah, that's really. I hope we still have one more round where they fight champions. They all fail it, and then maybe they catch a new Pokemon or find a way to develop their other Pokemon, because right now it's literally just a starter show, and although I do like all the starters, I kind of wish some of their other Pokemon are getting the actual development that they should be getting battle wise, especially Roy's Kilowattro. When Ro- I can understand Hatterene and Tinkatink not getting wins in like battle development because that's not really what Liko and Dot's goals are. Battles and that are just a segment of their goal, not the entire thing. But yeah. Alright, moving on to the episode. My little recap that I normally do. Episode starts up with them arriving in town, them playing with Graveyard and just learning more about the lore behind the town and learning that concerts are held twice a day to celebrate the spirits. I also do like the detail that when they're playing with the Graveyard, they lose a lot of their energy, and that's what leads to. I just think that's fun. Do I want a main character to catch a Graveyard? I would, but we're at a point where there's really no reason for any character to catch anything because its development's gonna get rushed or anything. And especially the fact that we're 60 episodes in and Fuecoco's probably only evolving next episode. We still need to see Liko's Hatem evolve into a Hatterene, Tinkatink evolve, and just all the starters evolve to the final stage, because I don't see a world where that doesn't happen. But yeah. They go to get eat to regain their energy, and that's when Terrapagos gets dragged off by Drifloon, and I think that's kind of funny. That leads them into running into Nemona, where Nemona saves Terrapagos. And that's basically when Nemona talks about, oh, Ryme is the one who does the concert, so looking for her at a concert, you're going to end up finding her on stage. She tends to incorporate battles into her concerts and all that. That's why she's in town, hoping that she can battle Ryme for fun. Which I do like that. It's kind of weird that they only run into Nemona during Roy's battles, because it's happened twice now. But yeah, it would have been interesting to maybe see. And I feel like it makes sense because Roy is being developed as Nemona's pseudo rival. But I feel like it would be kind of shake things up a bit if we see Nemona during other people's battles, maybe just watching and like not really saying anything, and it will lead to. This is what I really hope the final test is: them all getting to fight a champion level trainer, which the only two we know canonically are Gita and Nemona. I feel like Gita and Nico would be a good one, Roy and Nemona, but I don't know who Dot would fight at that point. Maybe Nemona, but who knows? But yeah. We see the Moist Critical clone setting up a mic test for the concert, and that's when Roy declares that he's there to challenge Ryme. So, in order to help set up the little test, the Moist Critical clone gets to battle Roy, and that's where we see Roy do his iconic song with Fuecoco, the Ho 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 Gator or Fuecoco song, and he beats the Moist Critical guy in a battle. And I really like this scene because it basically develops what this whole episode is about. Because even Liko and Dot mention it themselves. Because the episode starts off with Roy and Fuecoco singing, and they mention that those two love that song, and it normally leads to a victory. And that's what, like, really this episode's about. It's about exposing to Roy that he shouldn't be relying on that song as a power victory, because it's mentioned specifically by Dot. When Roy and Fuecoco start to sing, their moves get stronger. Their firepower is stronger, which it definitely makes sense. Especially because Skeledirge, as a Pokemon, its signature move is Torch Song. So it makes sense that Fuecoco singing is what builds up its firepower. But the whole problem with that is exposed by Ryme. When you rely on one gimmick too much, you're gonna get beat easily. But yeah, let's just get right into battle. It was fun seeing Roy and Ryme have a rap battle. That was another part I liked about the episode. Ryme and Roy, just that relationship, it's just really good. I feel like out of each of the tests, each trainer has had a really good relationship with each set of the tests, there's one trainer who has a really good relationship that stands out above all the others. For the first round, it was Dot and Iono. Second, it was Liko and Rika, and now it's Roy and Ryme. But yeah, they talk for a bit. Roy realizes that Ryme wasn't a dream. The person who told him about the Annihilate, And I think that joke was so funny where Dot genuinely thought he was making that up, and they just happened to find Annihilate. And I like that Ryme remembers Roy, remembers the potential she saw in Fuecoco during that day, and even is excited to battle them to see what she can bring out of them. But yeah, this is where I'm talking about where the battle does get a little weak. Because after our incredible rap battle, Kilowattrel fights her Graveyard, and Graveyard basically takes it out in 2 hits. Yes, it gets hit a lot by Sparks, because Roy just spams one move, and I like that Ryme calls him out for this, telling him straight up he can't use one move and expect not to be countered after using it for like the 4th time in a row. And then basically, yeah, it gets taken out. But the journeys affects the battle, sadly, because if you're not the main Pokemon of the battle, which all these trainers' second Pokemon will never be, sadly, you're gonna get taken out quick. But Fuecoco does get quick revenge after the Fuecoco song, charges it up to what basically one-shot. And that's the pull after that. Ryme sends out Toxtricity, and Fuecoco and Roy attempt to do the same thing again, not listening to the mistake they made with Kilowattrel before. But all of Ryme's moves and abilities of the Pokemon just cancel out every one of Roy's attacks. Roy launches every single attack he knows at it, but Discharge just cancels all of it out. And then even when Roy tries Disarming Voice, he just takes Toxicity, just tanks it because of its ability and its typing nulling out the move, which is a really good point that Nemona made. And I just like the whole time where Nemona is just scared for Roy and realizes Roy needs to do something to make up for what he's lacking. But yeah, Toxicity then goes all out on Fuecoco, and Roy desperately terastallizes, hoping he can make his moves even stronger, which Ryme calls him out. And at that moment, I knew Roy was failing. The second Ryme was like, oh, you think terastallization and a move of desperation is going to help you with your dream of Black Rayquaza? Yeah. So yeah, basically Toxicity takes out Fuecoco, and Roy loses the battle, and Ryme tells Roy straight up, you need to align yourself with Fuecoco because you can't be doing stuff like that, relying on gimmicks to basically win your battle. And I gotta say, I loved that. I love that entire message, the build up to the battle. But when you have such a weak battle, like that wise, it was literally just 2 Pokemon standing around throwing moves at each other. It kind of annoys me. In the days of Ash, as much as I hate to say it, we actually got creativity with a battle, especially like 2-on-2s, where it felt like the second Pokemon mattered. But starting with Journeys, I genuinely am starting to believe the fact that in every 2-on-2 or even more, unless you are the signature Pokemon of that battle, you're absolutely doing nothing. Like, how many of Ash's Journeys teams, like, win rates were severely low only because they rarely get used in battles, and when they do, the battle they're not the star of, they would either lose or get 1 win and then lose to the other Pokemon. So yeah. Overall, I sadly have to give this episode a 9 out of 10. I wanted to give it a 10 out of 10, but the battle just pulls me off so much, and it just like, this episode really is like the second like knock to the forehead that opened my eyes to what I feel like is a problem with the terastallization arc as a whole, which I do want to discuss in depth when this arc is over, because we still don't know how much longer we got and what's even going to happen after Liko battle with Grusha. So yeah. Hope you guys like this video, and just leave your thoughts on the episode, because this is an episode I'm very curious about people's reception of. So yeah. Hope you guys like the video. Subscribe for more content like this in the future. S-Man signing off.